Sorry, though. Sorry.
Shotty likes to sit.
What the head coach wants.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. 3 days in, just your thoughts on how the offense has been looking and everybody's being comfortable in it.
Yeah, definitely getting comfortable, taking steps. Excuse my voice. Taking steps from the offseason, that's what it was about. I mean, we had a great offseason, great OTAs and mini camps, so it was about taking another step, and I think we're headed in that direction. And honestly, not just the offense, the team. I mean, talking about Shotty, preaches, compete every day. And I think if you've watched these last 3 practices, the competition is high. The competition makes practice fun. It raises everybody's level and standard, and that's all you can ask for. So it's been a good 3 days. Not anything that anybody's complacent or content with, and we'll continue grinding, pushing each other, pushing ourselves, and knowing that that's the only thing that we can do right now is each and every day try to get better, 1% better, and understanding that's going to compound, and we'll put together a team that we're proud of.
Training camp practices where there's been fights, but it seems that almost every day so far there's something going on. How surprised are you by that? Was that a good thing?
I think it's a good thing. I don't think there's necessarily maybe one of them we had some punches going, but other than that, it's football. It's high emotions. You got guys out here practicing and competing for their life, competing for jobs. You've got to have that edge. I think that's a difference. That's the difference right there, is how passionate these guys are. I mean, they're being taught and being told to compete every day, and some guys compete different ways, right? And I think when you put that together at times, you're going to have those disagreements, you're going to have those frustrations, but they've been doing a good job of, for the most part, vibing each other up, looking in the face and realizing, okay, this is my teammate. I'm not going to take it there. And just as important as that, understanding that you can't take it there on game day either. So learning from it, controlling the emotions at the same time of being competitive. I mean, Coach says it all the time, we can be competitive without being combative. So I think it's a fine line, and I think we're flirting with it, and I think that's healthy.
Well, speaking of healthy, obviously we expected you to be full go, but just tell us how you feel coming off with the hamstring, the surgery in the off season, and we saw you take off a couple of times today. Just talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't took off or just ran. I mean, yeah, I said it. Yeah. No, I feel good. Like, as you said, healthy. It's been a long road to it. Obviously, it started last year during the season. So to be where I am now, it's just a blessing just to be out there on the field and feel healthy. A lot of work has went into it, whether it be with the team, Jim, Britt, those guys, or whether it be obviously Luke and all the time that we spend together. It's a blessing. It's something that I think about every time I step on that field, being thankful for it, being thankful for this moment, staying where my feet are, not taking anything I do for granted, and understanding that I've got to continue to push. It's one thing to be healthy, but how much better can I get now that I'm healthy? And that's on the forefront of my mind. So, yeah, it feels good.
He told us yesterday that he really missed being here last year, and he said he didn't really – it was afterwards he realized how much he missed and just being on the same page with you. Just talk about what you guys miss him not being here last year and the excitement of him being here and getting to make up those things.
Yeah, I don't really care to talk about last year in that sense. He said it there. It's something that we've discussed, whether it be just in free time or actually, we had good moments out in our receiver retreat that he spoke to me about that, and just not only about what it meant or how it felt last year, but what it means for him to be here now and what he's going to be and the type of man and leader and player he's going to be. And it's evident. You look out there and watch him an individual, the way he's leading the receivers, watch him with GP and their interactions, or watch him with anybody else on the offense, and the way that he's carrying himself, and just as importantly, the way that he practices with his speed and his tempo and the urgency. That's a guy that's not taking any day being out there for granted. And yeah, it's a blessing having him out there and knowing that we can get better right now, and we don't have to wait until something's done. And we're really just stacking off of the offseason, the great offseason that we had, and super excited for what he's going to do and what we're going to do, and just the growth in our connection.
Dak, Todd Archer with ESPN. Last year, you and CD had your contract deal. This year, it's with Micah. How do you guys deal? How did you deal with that? What do you think the best way to deal with that stuff is?
It's an every year conversation, whether it's myself, Zach Martin, CeeDee Lamb, now Michael Parsons. It's part of it in a sense. Now, it's something that I wish that any of us are going through. Absolutely not. But I think Mike is doing a hell of a job with it being here. He's a great teammate, showing up. Obviously, not just on the field and being focused, but whether it be in the camaraderie, hanging out, dinner. He's not just doing it to sign off and say, "Hey, Jerry, look at me." But he wants to be out there practicing, and honestly, I'm glad he's not. He can't do that to himself. That's the business of it, and that's the business of a holdout. And so I do think he's taken some great steps of being here. I don't know if there's a correct way to handle it. To be honest with you, I will say that I think he deserves to get paid. Think he should get paid, and ultimately, if I'm going off of the history of what I've seen, he will get paid. Hopefully, it's sooner than later.
And with the offense and the changes and stuff, Shawty's talked about not being static and a lot of motion and movement. What does that do for you?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously, it uncovers the defense. It gives us the tells that we need to help us create matchups on certain plays. Gives us access when that's what we're looking for. So I think it just depends on when the movement happened, what's the purpose of the movement, and within the play. And it's something that's going to help us out a lot, but it's something that we've also just got to make sure that we're not just living only in that. Got to get up there and snap it sometimes as well. And that's kind of been the point of using that is you don't know really when we're going to motion, when we're not, when we're going to hit you with something fast. So it's just another great weapon.
John Machado with The Athletic. Where do you think everything's at with you and George Pickens on the field? How much more do you think that you guys need to do to get to where you want to be? And CD talked a little bit yesterday about how there's parts of George's game that we haven't even seen yet out on the field, like high pointing the ball and things like that. Do you think that's all to come, or just kind of where do you think it's at?
Yeah, I think that's all to come. I don't think that's necessarily like something we've got to grow into. I think more so than anything, it was just the first red zone day. I think if we doubled the number of reps we had in there today, you would have seen one or two of them. And I just think that's going to come with who he is, the matchups that we're going to get. Hit him on a great, nice little out route there, right? And so they want to start sitting on that. You're going to see, the jump balls that CD's alluding to, and for him, it's just about continuing to master the offense, the routes, and the adjustments on certain routes. And when he does that, the rest of it's going to come. And so that's important for all of us. I mean, the guys hadn't been here too long, so it's just about making sure he feels comfortable in the system and knowing what he has, and whether him catching the ball and that connection. I've said it before, when you're an elite player like him, you create separation. That makes that whole deal easier.
And then, obviously, the energy has really been noticeable at practices. And after you guys get done stretching, you do that thing where you run through those pads, and you seem like you really bring a lot of energy. Like you're really excited for the guys, get them going during that portion. How much do you feel like that you need to kind of be one of the guys that's also like, hey, I'm not just gonna be the 10-year veteran. I'm gonna bring some of this energy too.
I think that's who I am as much as anything. I don't think it's like, oh, I've got to do this. I think what I have to do is be myself and have fun at practice and enjoy my teammates. And honestly, I was told not to do those drills, just from health. So hell, I'm not about to sit there, cross my arms and watch them. Like the whole point of the drill is to get some juice going and to get the guys going and get our energy high to start practice. So if I've got to be the hype man, that's what I'm going to do. It's probably why I'm losing my voice, is that's how we start practice. I'm just screaming for no reason. So it's important because, as I said, it's who I am. And I'm never going to be just the old guy sitting back. You know what I mean? And that's that just rolls into on the field, and that connection to the guys and the trust. They understand that if I was young and spry, I would be doing everything. You can't keep me from a rep. So, it's important for me just to support my guys in any chance that I get. Spry, right?
Building on the mobility conversation, how are you able to balance the context of the injury you suffered last year with also not wanting to limit aspects of your game that have worked for you?
Yeah, I think it's about trusting the rehab process, which I have. But then, as I said, now being healthy, it's about how can I get better. I can't say, okay, the hammy's good and I don't need to run anymore. Well, no, I need to continue to be pushing, running. I need to continue to do things that has gotten me to this point, gotten my health to this point, because it's only going to get me healthier and it's only going to allow me to do the things that I want to do during the season, throughout the season, and obviously limit any risk of anything else or re-injuring anything. So it's about working and honestly working without that injury in my mind. Great doctor, great, obviously, Luke and great team with Britt and the guys that have me to where I am, is just continue to trust the process and continuing to improve not only on my game, but just in the health and understanding everything that goes into it, whether it be the sleep, the nutrition, all the recovery mobilities. I can't take a day off, and I don't, and I'm thankful that I have all those resources and have the means to do everything that I can, and to make sure that I'm feeling well and feeling as good as I am now.
You were here last year whenever Sam Williams had his injury, and I'm sure you guys had some days in rehab together. What's kind of your excitement for him to get back on the field and for him as well?
Yeah, super proud of Sam. As you said, bombed, obviously, especially when anybody goes down. But yeah, I haven't spent some time with him and Britt on the bands throughout the off season. That's a guy that's hungry, very hungry, for the fam, right? Wearing the shirt now. And that's just a testament to not only who he is, but how hard he works and how much he cares for his teammates. And I support that guy in every aspect of life because he does things right. And he's going to have a hell of a year. And now it's just about, as I said, he's healthy, just the same as myself. And he's not content with being just healthy. He wants to make sure that he's better than he was before he got hurt. And so I'm going to continue to push him, encourage him any way that I can, whether it's competing against him right now or it's in the locker room or hell, just wearing this shirt. Super proud of him. He was recognized for the Defensive Golden Whistle Award. And that's a testament to the guy, who works hard of getting back from injury. And so he'll probably be one of the guys. I mean, he'll be a guy that I'll probably vote for on the Ed Block, Courage Award. And so super proud of him. And I know he's just getting back to himself, and it's only the beginning.
Tommy Yarsh, DallasCowboys.com. Tyler Guyton going into year 2. What have you seen from him in OTAs and training camp? I know he had told us a couple of times that he was kind of disappointed at times with how it went in year 1, but do you feel like he's taking the steps that he needs to be better?
Yeah, that disappointment, he's channeled it all into motivation, and that's his fuel of getting better. And I think you saw it, glimpses of it in the offseason to now as we're getting into this training camp. It's continuing to grow, and I think you're only going to see it more when we get these pads on and he can be, really be a lineman again. He gets to put his hands on guys and maul guys. But you can look at him and see he's already changing, maturing physically. With his body, and just speaking with him and watching the way he approaches the game, the mind's already matured. So he's just going to continue to take steps and super comfortable with where he is, and know that he's not comfortable with where he is, but he's going to continue to get better, and proud of that.
How big is it for him to be back? I know he had missed some time in the last training camp and with several things. How big is it for you to have him there kind of more consistently so that you can kind of get used to having him there?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge for the whole team. Just talking with some of the guys and, wondering like where, run game or where this went in past years. And I said, you need 5 guys, maybe a 6, right? Playing together all the time, getting multiple reps. Like they don't have to be the best individually, but they have to be the best when they're working together. And so it's way more important to that left guard and to the center and to the tight ends that he's here than it is for me. So it's just about getting that continuity and continuing to build off of that. And it's important for all of those guys to get those reps. And so we'll keep doing that. And that's the whole point. And you can only hope everybody stays healthy and we have that opportunity. But the more that those guys get reps together, the better each and every one of them will be up front.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio 105.3 The Fan. What does 10-year veteran sound like to you, and what does it feel like?
It's a blessing. Yeah, it's a blessing. Doesn't seem real at times. I think in 10 years. But I feel great. I'm healthy. I feel young. That was, kind of part of, shaving the beard off. I'm trying to let you guys see how I feel. But it's a blessing more than anything. As I said, it's something I do not take for granted one bit, whether it be the time in the dining hall, whether it be in the locker room. Obviously, it's out there on the practice field, and just getting to end practice and knowing this stage of life, getting to spend it with, my daughter and my fiance, my daughters and my fiance out there on the field that's what says 10 more than anything. As being a young guy, watching the older guys play with their kids afterwards and just understanding that's where I am now. Super, super thankful. Don't take a moment of it lightly. I'm just thankful to be where I am. And as I tell people, I'm just going to continue to be where my feet are. And if that's here, that's here. And if it's at home playing with them, or if it's in the locker room being the best teammate that I can be, because this isn't promise, not a game is, not a practice rep is. So just taking advantage of every single thing that I'm allowed to.
Joe Trahan, WFAA TV. Dak, pulling on that CeeDee Lamb thread a little bit more, he mentioned the San Francisco game where he had a realization that he thought maybe he was doing things just for him and he could be fast and strong and make a great move, but if it didn't work with what you saw and wasn't tailor-made for you, it wouldn't work for the team. Can you talk about how that realization on his point can unlock an even greater potential?
Yeah, I mean, he understands the true connection of it. And I think if I had to guess what he meant in that, right, is, yeah, I can go out there and I can route a guy up and boom, get open right now. But if I'm number 2 or 3 in the progression and I'm open now, what does it really matter? And I think that's to his point, is if I'm number 3, I'm going to get my depth. I'm going to get all the way to the top of it, and then I'll break the guy off to make sure, that I'm there for Dak. Or if I'm number 1, I'm going to win now. It is the time to win now. And I think as much as anything, him noticing that is going to be contagious to all the other guys. And not only contagious, he's going to make sure he's leading and communicating that to the other guys so they understand the importance of it. And when people under the players and receivers understand the importance of that's when it all clicks. And that's my point of, whether George and that connection, it's a system and it is plays. And so that connection comes from knowing where you are in the progression, when you're supposed to be there, and getting there at that right time of when I get to you. And whether I got to you or not, being able to coach off of it, go back and look at it on the film, because when we do get to that progression, we're going to need you. And so that's him just maturing, growing, and becoming the great leader that I've already witnessed, and excited for him just continue to take steps at that.
Mike Husey, Fox 4. Tyler Smith, the day you guys arrived, said that he thinks this is a Super Bowl winning roster, potentially. Do you think that's a reasonable expectation?
Hell yeah. If he doesn't believe it, or anybody in that locker room don't believe it, then I asked them to get out. And Shotty said it day one when we showed up. If you don't want to win a Super Bowl or don't think we can win a Super Bowl, then then don't come to Oxnard, and you're in the wrong place. We know the standard when you wear the star. We know the expectations. And I credit Shotty for not shying away from it. I don't think anybody's ever heard me shy away from it. And so it's just making sure everybody understands that. I mean, with great high expectation comes greater results. So we have to think that. You have to manifest that. You've got to take the steps each and every day with that in the forefront of your mind, or with that in the back of your mind, I guess, or however you think, right, to make sure that you're not taking anything for granted, that every rep you need to get better. We don't need to peak right now, but we do need to make sure that we're getting better, and we're better tomorrow than we were today. We're better today than we were yesterday. And with that mindset, and with the camaraderie, the connection, the true brotherhood that we're continuing to build and work on, as Shotty has alluded to from day one, that's a damn sure a possibility. So if guys don't believe that, then they're in the wrong team, wrong organization, and wrong place. So I appreciate Tyler for speaking that, saying that, and believing that.
Motivated by the top 10 quarterbacks list that did not include you?
Motivated? That's temporary. I don't think I've really ever cared about a list. I was, the 9th or so guy taken when I was taken. The list changes every person you ask. The list changes every year. With injuries, obviously the list should change. As young new players come in, the list is going to change. So not something I really ever give weight to. I know who I am. I'm confident who I am. As I said, it's about me just continuing to get better, healthy, and grow, and make sure I'm the best player, quarterback, and leader I can be for this team. And that's the list I care about.
Jonah Javad, WFAA. Dak, you mentioned kind of the 10 years and where you were then versus now, but You ever think back to like what the mindset was for when you first went to your first training camp and what that young man was trying to aspire and accomplish, and then how it's compared to who you are now?
I mean, yeah, the very first one, I was just trying to get a job, right? And then as guys got injured, it was about showing that I could do it and showing that I belonged. To the year after that and so forth, I think if anyone knows me and spent some time with me outside of just this base right here, you understand, like, I want to get better each and every day in every way that I can. And I can't say that's changed from 24-year-old Dak in second year to now. This is a grind. This is a business. It's tough. And I want it to be tough. I want it to be a grind. I'm up for that each and every day in every way that is going to come. So I can't say that trying to take advantage and be the best I can has changed to this point. But it's about just the only difference now, as I said, there's a family. And honestly, getting that true balance is, I think it's healthy now when I get to get away from this building and get away from here. My mind truly gets to leave it, where in the past it didn't. And, you know, I think that could be detrimental at times, you know, overthinking things and thinking too much about the things that you want. But, yeah, I think that's the only difference now is I get a true balance when I get away from here and when I get in here, how great it is.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. One more Sam Williams question. Shotty talked about how he's seen Sam Williams grow up since he's known him. Sam said he agreed with that, talking about how his family's become important in the perspective of last year's injury. Have you seen a grown-up Sam Williams?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Still as funny as they get, and will still say anything that he wants. But just the way that he approaches the game, the way that I've watched him show up for treatment every day, the way that I've watched him attack the rehab, that alone you can tell this guy's mind is matured, and that just continues and runs in every aspect of his life. And whether it be, I mean, him starting a business like this that is doing well, this is a beautiful, comfortable shirt, that his expectations of what he wants in life, I think, are that's what's guiding him to grow and mature off the field as well.
Hey, Dak. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. A large part of success, as you know, is the work ethic and the grind. Another large part of it is having fun doing what you're doing. Multiple sets, multiple looks, under center, read option. You get another weapon in George Pickens. Just talk about how much fun you're expecting to have to start the Schottenheimer era.
Tons of fun. Tons of fun. Already having fun. Nothing's better than this game of football. It's always given me such an amazing piece, and there's been different years, different times. It can get tougher, and you can sometimes forget that. But keeping that at the forefront of your mind to have fun, I think, is what leads it. And Shotty's a guy who has fun. We're going to compete our ass off, but we have fun. And I think with that, what having fun is allowing everyone to be themselves. And that's what we encourage, is to be yourself. And as you said, having those different sets, the different formation, the different looks, that's the way that I've seen the game and I've always seen the game. So the more of that we get, I encourage. And, yeah, sure, I might not be as fast or quick as I once was, but trust me, I enjoy still running the ball. And there's a time, there's a place for it. And getting the ball into guys like CD's hands today early and watching him, you know, take a 3-yard pass and make guys miss and get down the field, or whether it be George on a 5-yard route or flipping it to Turp or any of these backs and watching them go make guys miss and have fun. And then I think one of the great parts that we're continuing to preach is about covering down, right? Covering the ball. And you see the energy from offense and defense, but what that allows you to do is celebrate with your guys as well. And the handshakes, right? All of that's fun, and you have to keep the game fun. And Shotty does a great job of leading this group, leading this team, and leading this offense to make sure that we're doing that and allowing guys to be themselves in every aspect.
Bill Jones, CBS Texas. How big of an addition has Joe Milton been to the quarterback room?
Speaking of fun, Joe's fun. Joe is a blast. Whether it be in meetings or whether it be on the field, you see the energy on the field, whether I'm in making a play, Will's in making a play, or he's in, posing on the sideline or doing dances, after he runs out of bounds or scores a touchdown. That's contagious. It's very contagious. And Joe's a guy that's going to push me to be better each and every day, and we encourage that in our room. That's the competition, right? That's the part of it. And I told Shotty that from day one. That guy came in, and we went and threw routes on there outside of the building. I came back and I told Shotty, I don't know if I've ever seen someone throw the ball like that. And it's impressive, but he's not complacent with how well he throws the ball. He's going to push himself to get better in the knowledge and the situations of the game. And I think all that does is, push myself, push this offense, and super thankful to have a guy like that. As I said, not just fun and energy, but very, very professional. And as much as anything, listens and wants to learn and seeks out my knowledge and advice as much as he probably does any coach. And that's fun to be able to just pour into a guy like that.
Last one, Todd. We've talked about year 10 a couple times. What motivates you at this point?
In the game of football? Yeah, having fun and winning the Super Bowl. Period. Period. It's what I want. It's what I want from this game, and I know it's what everyone wants in this locker room. We got a head coach who I know is hungry for it, who just hearing him speak and hearing him speak about his dad, right, and his father having those chances and those opportunities, that's Super Bowl. Winning. And obviously, if we give everything we can and you go at it, there's a lot of good things and patches and pats on the back, I guess you can say, on the way of attempting that. But that's what's on my mind. And 10 in, ready to play another 10. But I want that first and foremost now, and that is the urgency that I carry with just the love and the passion of this game. Is not only wanting to win for myself, but want to win for this organization. It's been damn long enough, but knowing what it'll do, not knowing what it'll do for the guys in the locker room, and we got to keep that at the forefront of our mind. That's why I said Tyler Smith saying that, Shotty saying that, guys not backing down from that. Yeah, look it in the face, look it in the eyes, and do whatever you can. I think that helps you, choose your sacrifices. I think that makes choices for you. I think that shows you the lane that you need to go if you just keep that on your mind when you're on the field, when you're in drills, when shit gets hard, or when you're at home on your personal time and you're trying to figure out, should I do this or should I do that? If we keep that on our mind, not just me, everyone. When one thinks something is good, but when two think it is powerful, when we can get 100 plus guys to think it can happen. So that's what it's about.
Thank you, Dak.
Thank you.